Good morning, Kitchen Witches. This is your tarot and menu inspiration for the day. I'm Chef Lisa, editor and chief of A Chef's Grimoire magazine, and we are going to pick one card, and that is going to be everything we need to know. So I'm going to shuffle a few times, and we will see what that card is. This is exactly what we do at the magazine. When we're ready to do a new chapter, which is our new issues, we decide on what card is going to be the main player. And we do a shuffle and we just say, okay, what's going to be our card? And this past issue or chapter that came out was all about the magician. And who better than to pair the magician with but the four aces, because those are what the magician rules, right? So the issue or chapter relied heavily on those four cards, right? In addition to menus for the moon, the new moon, the full moon, and the 3 months that are within each chapter, right? Because the magazine is released quarterly. So yeah, it's great. And it really inspires a different way of thinking about not only the cards, but food in general and how to menu plan, which was really the spark that started all of this. I, as a personal chef, was creating exactly the same meals over and over and over again, and it really was no fun for me. You know, I was just like, this is boring. And my clients, you know, I felt like there was room to grow there, even with very challenging clients that couldn't really eat a whole bunch of different things, right? So I had to get creative. But I was just, every time I looked at the internet, I was like, oh, I made that. I was like, oh, God, it's like the same menu every week. So I was turning cards for myself anyway in the morning, one card a day. And finally, I said, you know what? I'm going to see what this card would make for dinner. And it worked. It sparked me to go to find different things. So we're going to do that today with the one card that we get. And what card is that? Ah, look at that. A gift from the universe. It is the Ace of Wands. Whoa, that's cool. Fire, passion, and that's just what we were talking about, right? We were talking about my passion for my craft was lackluster. It was just like bang, 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 same thing every day. And I needed something to light my fire, and that was the tarot cards. Yeah. So Ace of Wands, that's exactly what it is. Wands are about our passions, our desires. It's what gets us out of bed in the morning and says, this is going to be a great day, yeah? Or I have this to do, and that when I do that, it really lights me up. That's what this is, the Ace of Wands. And not only is it the element, right, that's within our day, within our scope, but it's being given to us. So it's not even us producing it, it's a gift for us to utilize today. So do it wisely. Use these gifts. And why do I say it's a gift? Because the way that Pamela Coleman Smith drew this card, this is a Rider-Waite-Smith deck card. And the way that it was drawn is a disembodied hand coming out of the clouds holding the element, which is the wand. And there's a castle in the background. The castle is on a beautiful green hill. There's some trees. There's some mountains that are way, way, way in the background. And mountains are usually hurdles you have to climb, right, when it's depicted on a tarot card. But all these things are very much in the background, but it's a little bit of everything. There's even a little stream that's running through there for emotional support to the fire and passion. The mountains are purple, right? Purple is a very royal color. So royal gifts from the universe is the wand, right? And the wand is going to give us that fire and passion that was maybe lacking in our lives up until today. So yeah, it's a great card. The aces are gifts. So, and it's the pure element. So yesterday we got the page of swords, the page of swords. So the difference between an ace and a page is pages are more personalities, where aces are gifts, right? From the higher realms. So the higher realms has decided today is the day that you really need an extra boost. And what element is going to do that for you today? Well, for today, it's the wands. So you need fire and passion into what you're doing. If you get the page of wands, then the page of wands would direct you back to maybe you're doing 18 different things, but only one of them really lights you up. You have to do the others. So maybe the page of wands coming into your day would say, okay, do the other things, but in the end of the day, go back to center, go back to what lights you up, because it'll revitalize you from the day-to-day chore tasks that everybody has to do. Where this one could mean maybe a meeting gets canceled and you get more time to read your book in the sunshine, right? What do you love to do? Love to read. There you go, right? That's a gift. Maybe, maybe you get to an appointment early and you don't have to wait in line, or someone is there that you've wanted to talk to for a really long time. They're leaving when you're coming in, and had you gotten there later, you would have missed them. But that person lights you up, makes you happy inside. It could be a budding romance person. It could just mean a good friend that you haven't seen in a while, and you're like, oh, that's terrific. You know what I mean? That's a passion of a person that you can spend a little extra time with today, right? So all these are little gifts, and you have to look out for them. So that's your homework today. Look out for the things that bring you back to something that lights you up. Yeah. Now, bringing this card into the kitchen, I'm thinking, what is your passion, right? So what is your passion when it comes to food? So for breakfast, who doesn't love a banana bread? So we're going to do a coconut chocolate banana bread. And because it's wands, that is fire energy, we're going to make it we're going to give it a little heat. We're going to turn up the heat notch a little bit. And we're going to glaze the bread with a hot sauce glaze. So any hot sauce you have in your refrigerator, just put it onto the stovetop with a little sugar, right? Melt the sugar into it until it's glazy. And the sugar is going to cut some of the heat level, which is good. But it's still going to have a little kick. And you're going to brush that on top of the freshly baked banana bread that has chocolate and coconut in it. Yum. Slice that up, and that'll light your fire. Plus, if you love to bake, there you go. You get a little chance to do something you love and lights you up by making this bread. So that is breakfast. For lunch, what about a buffalo chicken dip with tortilla chips? Yeah. So you can use shredded rotisserie chicken for this. You take Frank's buffalo sauce, you take butter, you make a beautiful sauce, and you coat the chicken in it, preferably shredded, right? Because you're gonna pick it up with a chip, so you don't want big, huge pieces. And then you just put that in a nice bowl. You put the chips around it, and you can just sit there and dip and eat and dip and eat. Good. It has protein, it has a little kick, it'll light your fire, and it's got crunch. All the things we want at lunchtime. If you want to, okay, you can add carrots, celery, onion, right? You can even do a crudité on the side so that you're getting it a little bit healthy and you have vegetables there. It's up to you. It's what lights your fire. It's what is your passion, right? So buffalo chicken dip with tortilla chips. I like that for lunch. For dinner, All right, this is where you're going to break out the seafood because we're going to do an arrabbiata sauce, which is a spicy red sauce. And it's a marinara, so you can make it from scratch if you wish, or you could just take a good old jar of marinara, whatever your favorite is, and add a nice pinch of red pepper flakes to it. So it's got a little kick, a little heat. And then on the stovetop with a nice lid, you're going to take some, you can do scallops if you wish. You can do shrimp, clams and mussels, right? You saute those in a little butter with some garlic. And then you do a shot of either chicken broth or clam juice, right? Put the lid on until the clams and mussels open. And then you take them and you add the marinara to it. And then you just toss everything together and you serve that over pasta, right? Would be the first choice, of course. But if you want to do a gluten-free, you can do polenta. Or risotto, right? Or, just a basic risotto and put this beautiful seafood arrabbiata sauce on top. Delicious. And our card of the day, the Ace of Wands, would love that because in making that, it's kind of like a little gift to yourself, right? And your family because it'll nourish them. And that's exactly what this card wants you to do, is nourish yourself so that you can nourish all those around you with your kitchen magic. See you tomorrow.